Welcome back. You're watching CNBC-TV18 special coverage of Day 2 of the India AI Impact Summit. We caught up with the co-founder of Fathom, which is a US-based startup, 2 years old in the AI space, but is empowering independent verification organizations in businesses all around the world on how to meet standards set by governments on trust and safety, which have to be the very foundation of any AI application. Give me a sense of the thought with which you launched Fathom 2 years ago, and what was the missing link that you were trying to address?
Yeah, so we exist to help a successful transition into a world shaped by AI, and the missing link is simply that right now AI is being led at the forefront by a handful of companies that have been stuck in this position of simply saying, you have to trust us to radically change whole sectors of your economy in ways that are scary and huge and problematic and full of potential all at the same time. And we really came in to say, how do we start to build a trust infrastructure that isn't just reliant on tech to tell us, trust us, but can actually verify this can be safe in front of kids, or this can be safe to innovate healthcare. It's going to be effective, and it's going to be the right thing to do via third-party verification.
Right. So give us a sense of the kind of solutions you're working for the future.
We think that just like the AI revolution began from the private markets, so will the trust ecosystem. And so if we can really figure out a way, instead of, say, command and control government regulation here, if we can get governments and society and regulated industry focused on saying, let's build a marketplace of verification solutions here, that can be a powerful marketplace that survives and thrives right alongside the capabilities marketplace. And we're starting to see this come up. There's a venture capital firm that did some work on this that says this is up to a $500 billion a year market. Just the verification that AI is going to do what it says it's going to do and not do anything different than what it says it's going to do.
Right. So you're working on a governance model which will solve for empowering independent verification organizations. Now, what kind of assistance and empowerment do you wish to provide? And what are the kind of these independent verification organizations that you want to work with?
Yeah, we think there needs to be essentially an army of these verification companies that come in every place where there's real risk. And so to get specific about it...
Is it government or business?
It is business. It is business that has to report to government how it's doing. So if you're an independent verifier and you say you work in education technology, how do you verify that when you put chatbots in schools, kids aren't committing suicide at a greater rate? And how are you tracking that data so that you can report back to government and you say, when we come in and we certify that a chatbot is safe in schools, we know what we're talking about. We have the technology and we have the protocols to make sure that it actually isn't happening. And if at any point we can't prove that to you anymore, you should withdraw our ability to certify.
What are some of the biggest threats that you hope will be highlighted in this conference?
I think the biggest threat is the same as this opportunity. If we don't figure out a way for people to actually have earned trust in the system, I think you're going to see adoption just drop, especially as you see harm start to come through. And so I do think what you're starting to, from 2 years ago, people were talking a lot about safety. Now I'm hearing a lot of people don't talk about safety anymore, but they talk about trust, and that they really say trust and innovation are married. And if we can't figure out a way to grow trust in AI as it gets, permeated throughout our entire ecosystem, then we're not going to be able to adopt it. And so I think that's the really both opportunity but also biggest barrier is how do we create that earned trust system?
Right. Could you give us a sense of what is India, or where is India in part of your global growth story right now?
I mean, India is where the rubber meets the road, right? There's America, United States, that's where a lot of the LLM models are being built, right? And a lot of the compute is going there right now. But when you talk about the application layer, the data layer, the ability to talk to the global south about trust and what that means in the system, all of that is on the ground in India. And I really think you see it when you walk through the conference. It's a much different conversation. Instead of it being all about what's the frontier of all this, it's really about how is this going to be implemented in society.
All right. Andrew Freedman, thank you very much for joining us here in our CNBC TV18 studio. All right, that's all we could pack in on this edition of Global AI Lens. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.